So now that we've got the new drift tuning cars as part of the Money Fronts DLC here in GTA Online, I wanted to quickly showcase some of the exclusive liveries that are now available for the 4 existing cars that the drift tuning upgrade was added to. These of course include the Annis Hardy, the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire, the Dinka Chavos V6, and the Vapid Dominator FX. And also, since I didn't showcase them anywhere else, I also wanted to show off the liveries for the new Drift Walton L35 as well. Although this car doesn't have an additional drift tuning upgrade you have to apply, and therefore it doesn't have any exclusive or locked liveries, I still thought I'd showcase them for the sake of being thorough. Now, as you guys probably know by now, Rockstar has added exclusive liveries to certain cars that can only be accessed when their drift tuning upgrade is applied to it. Keep in mind that there's no way to merge these exclusive liveries onto a non-drift tuned car, and applying an exclusive livery then removing the tuning will revert the livery back to stock, so there's really no way around it. You have to have the drift tuning upgrade that you can equip of course at the LS car meet. You have to have that first in order to access these liveries, and once that is applied you can access them at any mod shop. So in total, Rockstar added 31 drift tuning exclusive liveries to the 4 cars that I previously mentioned, plus the Drift Walton L35 has 11 of its own, so I wanted to make this quick video to showcase them all in one go. So with that all said, feel free to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you find any of this content helpful. Leave any of your thoughts or feedback down below in the comments, and let's jump in. Alright guys, so we're in the mod shop now, getting ready to take a look at some of the liveries for the Annis Hardy here. Really quickly providing some context for why Franklin is in the car and you see a yank plate with menu on it. I am pre-recording this over on PC using some mods just so I can access these liveries early and pre-record a showcase for you guys, because I do know that the day that these cars officially drop I will be very busy doing my normal testing and making videos on each of the cars when they are available. So I wanted to make a dedicated showcase, and therefore in order to get that out at a reasonable time I wanted to pre-record it. So again, you will be able to access all these liveries exactly the same way in GTA Online once the drift tuning upgrade is equipped on your car. So there's no other things I'm doing with mods to manipulate the game. These are all in the game files. I'm not modding anything in. So anyway, moving into the liveries here for the Hardy, we have 5 new ones that we see starting after Silhouette Style. This is the last normal one. Then we have Kuru Kuru, which is a really cool drift missile inspired livery with a lot of rust and graffiti all over the car. Definitely fits the vibe of an Ebisu kind of beater drift missile. And actually, speaking of Ebisu, a lot of the names, or actually all of the names for these new drift tuning exclusive liveries, are references to different courses at the Ebisu circuit complex. So Minami, Kita, Higashi, and Nishi are the main tracks, and then Kuru Kuru is a reference to their skid pad area where beginners learn to drift. So it kind of makes sense that this corresponds to the beater kind of missile livery. That's really cool. Whoever made these liveries definitely did their homework. But yeah, Kuru Kuru beater missile livery, really like the way this looks. Super detailed with all the rust and the graffiti and everything like that. Really cool. Then we have Minami, which I believe is a reference to the Team Orange C33 Nissan Laurel. Super cool livery, lots of tribal graphics, but it is simple. It's not super busy, and I really do like the colorway. This is probably my favorite of all the new ones. Really, really cool, but they didn't mirror the livery, which is interesting. Normally they would do that, but for this one they didn't. I'm interested to know why. But moving on to Kita, this seems to be more of like a race car inspired livery, just with the way that the graphics are more concrete. It's not like a 90s style of graphics package. We got Demon Oil and a couple other brands I've never seen before, but yeah, really do like this loud red color scheme, and then the dragon graphics on the doors and roof there, really cool. Then we have Higashi, which I really like as well because of the tribal graphics. Again, very authentic looking livery, but the colorway is really loud. You've got lots of fluorescent blues and pinks and purples and everything like that. Not personally my taste. I would have rather them made kind of like an alternate color scheme, but still I really do like the way this livery kind of fills out the whole car. Not only do you have the sides all filled up, but you also have this detail on the front lip, then over onto the hood and the roof. Really cool. Little bit busy livery, but still pretty cool. And then we finish out with Nishi, which is more of like a refined, I guess, branded livery, as you can see there with the big Annis logo. Not my style, a little bit more modern, which I don't think fits as well on a car like this as the ones we've previously gone over, but still pretty cool. I do like the fluorescent green and kind of teal all over the place. Really cool livery. So yeah, that will wrap up all of the 5 new drift tuning exclusive liveries for the Annis Hardy. Alright, so next up we've got the Gauntlet Hellfire with 9 new exclusive liveries, skipping through all the ones we already have. I think, yeah, here we go. The first one is Drift Enforcement. This is so cool. Obviously a reference to a police version, I guess, of this car, which is pretty sweet. Obviously we can't upgrade the cop car version of this to have drift tuning, so we have a livery now for the normal Hellfire, which I think is a really nice touch by Rockstar. I really dig the colorway on this livery. I bet it would look good with like a black primary. Next up we've got Jackal Racing, which which has kind of this pattern underneath, and then the Yeti graphics over top, like a highlighter yellow. Super cool. A little bit too busy for my taste personally, but still really awesome livery. Kind of reminds me of one of the ones that we have on the Drift Tampa. Next up, we've got Team Hardstand with a really cool two-tone livery with like a gradient in the center that grades out to like the primary color that you choose. I kind of like the gray. It's a really like balanced colorway, which I really like. Not super busy. I just wish this was available for the normal car because it is a really nice livery, this one in specific. Next up, we got Grand Havoc, which is like a beater, kind of rusty style livery with the blue and all that stuff. Kind of dig it. Not really my taste again, you know, making like rusty builds or anything like that, but I bet somebody would find a good use for this, making like a drift missile. Next up, we've got Hell's Kitten, which is a reference obviously to the Hellcat. We got kind of this like rusty, maybe not rusty, but like faded paint on like a bomber or like a plane or something, or maybe like a jet. Kind of those graphics inspired on this livery. Really cool. I do like the teeth up front, super aggressive. And again, I feel like this would fit the vibe of a drift build pretty well. Next, we've got Dense Motorsport. This is kind of my taste again, more modern kind of graphic style, but I really do like the look of the text and everything. This really looks like it would work on like a drift car, like a Formula drift car or something like that. I really do like the red colorway all over, and I do like the style of the graphics too. Really nice touch. Next, we got Pride Up North, which is like a two-tone, maybe not a two-tone. Well, yeah, actually it kind of is a two-tone with the camo on the back, and then the Darius graphics that transition into like a flannel pattern or something like that up front. Really cool, honestly. Somebody's gonna find a way to make a sick build out of this. I personally would not, but I bet somebody will. Really cool livery, definitely. Next up, we got Scribble with the big Rimmers graphics on the side there, with like the pink scribble. Really like this. Nice and loud. I bet this would look really good with like a black primary color, and I do like the pink on the roof too. That is really cool. And next up, we got Redline, which is like a super busy livery with like clean graphics on the back, and then the Kisama kind of stripe along the sides there, and then all of the crazy fractal patterns and LS Carmi graphics all over the place. Not personally my taste. Super busy livery, but still it does show that Rockstar put a lot of care into it, and overall pretty cool. So yeah, those are the 9 new exclusive drift tuning liveries for the Gauntlet Hellfire. Honestly, a lot of really good ones in here. And next up, we've got everybody's favorite new drift car, the Dinka Chavos V6. Still baffles me that this car now has drift tuning, but whatever. These are all the existing ones we have. The Wasabi Kitty was the last normal one, and then the newest one we got here is the T-East Sports. This is really cool. I think this is definitely a reference to Spoon Sports because you have like the light blue on the front, and then I imagine if you did like a yellow primary color, it would look very much like a Spoon Sports inspired Honda Accord. T-East is obviously a reference to C-West, so actually a really cool livery, and some of the other ones for this car are actually pretty sweet. The Den's livery is another really cool one too, with these Sakura tree branches with the flowers there. Not sure about the two-tone, but the rest of the graphics I really like, with like the gradient between the pink to like the faded blue there, and then all over the hood as well. This is a super sick livery. Again, the two-tone is a bit iffy, but overall I really like the detail with that one. Next up, we got Cable Reflection, which is like these white graphics laid on top. Not personally my style. Looks a little bit more like a race car as opposed to a drift car, and I don't really like the kind of half cut between the front and the back of the car. Not really my style, but still pretty cool. Next, we got Yoga Arashima Racing with the Japanese graphics all over the place. We got this figure on the front, not really sure what he's called. And then we have these really cool kind of outlines on the back here with the fish or something like that, and then the fish on the roof. Very detailed. Not really my taste, but still a really cool and well detailed livery. It also carries over the weird two-tone at the bottom of the bumper there. Maybe that was copied over from the Sakura livery. Not really sure if that fits, but the rest of the car, very cool livery. Next, we've got Arcana Penrith, which is this really cool like 3 color tone. Well, actually 4 with the primary color. You got like this barbed wire graphic on the front, and then we've got the orange, gray, and then the white with the Penrith graphics. Super cool. Honestly, pretty cool. This would definitely fit the vibe of like a competitive Formula Drift type car. And next up, we got Frank, which I actually think is a reference to Frank Ocean, because clearly you could see on the side here it says USC, which I think is a reference to like this livery being inspired after a boat. I don't know, Frank Ocean, boat sailing oceans, not really sure the vibe of that, but the graphics are cool. I don't know if it fits on a Honda Accord, and I don't know. It worked on the Gauntlet Hellfire, but I'm not sure if it works with this. Pretty cool livery. I don't know if I could make this work though. Next up, we've got Higashi's Spirit, which reminds me a lot of what we had just seen on the Hardy, with this really bright tribal graphics with the pink, the fluoro blue, and everything like that. Super cool livery. I actually think it fits fits on this car a bit better, and I really like the transition between the hood onto the fenders. Very busy livery, but I think it actually kind of fits. If you painted this like a hot pink, I bet it would really pop, so that's a super cool livery there. And then we got the process color drifter, which has the backside skateboards graphics in fluoro blue and pink. Really cool. Again, the style of the patterns and everything like that, maybe not for me, but just the detail with these liveries, man. I do like the Japanese text on the front and then on the back of the doors there. Nice touch there, kind of combining two different styles. So yeah, those are the 8 new, pretty varied and actually pretty unique liveries that we got for the Chavos V6. Again, really a nice surprise. And last but not least, we've got some more liveries for the Vapid Dominator FX. We already had a bunch of really good ones for this car, but we got even more now that the drift tuning upgrade is available for it. So the first one is a pretty interesting meme one. It says something in Japanese, which is obviously a reference to Takumi Fujiwara's Toyota Corolla A86. Pretty interesting. I feel like this text is just copied over from the livery on the Fudo GTX. I think this is a pretty funny meme livery for them to do like the black hood and like the proper A86 colorway to replicate his car. That's pretty cool. Next up, we got Korean import. I actually like the look of the colorway for this one. I feel like it kind of fits the era of this car perfectly. I don't know if it would fit specifically on a drift car, but I feel like if you were doing like a race inspired build, this would fit perfectly. Really do like the design of the graphics here. Next up, we got Grassroots Drifter, which is pretty dyed in the wool, like a beater missile type car. You got mismatched panels, the Ellis Carmi graphics, some rust and assorted graphics all over the place. Interested to see what is going on with the hood there. That's kind of cool, the design that's on it. Pretty simple, you know, it's got some pinstripes on the back, mismatched panels, as you'd expect from a beater missile livery, and I think they nailed it pretty well. Next up, we got Wild Style, which is way too wild for me. There's so many different patterns and colors, and there's TGG on the side of the car. I don't know about this one, man. It is cool, and I feel like you could make this work with a specific primary color, but on its own, maybe not my style, but still really cool and really well detailed. Next up, we got Memphis Fracture, which is, again, the same thing. You got like varying colorways and patterns and everything like that. I really like the look of the front. Honestly, it looks kind of like a flame job, but it's like shattered glass almost. I really like the look of that. But then on the back, there's this weird like pattern. I can't even tell what the pattern is. It looks like a kid's blanket or something. Really random, but the colors are cool. Maybe you can mute that with like a black primary. I'm not sure. Pretty interesting livery choice there. Bringing it back to reality a little bit, we got Hawk and Little Racing, which again, I think would fit really well in like a race car inspired build. Very cool to have access to this one though. This is super clean. I really like the look of the graphics. Again, it fits the era of this car perfectly. Same thing with Aero Racing. I really like this colorway, and I would rather have it just on the normal version of this car because I think it fits that better as opposed to like a drift car, but still, I'll take what I can get. This livery is really cool. Next, we got Retro Detailing, which actually reminds me a little bit of a livery I've seen before on the Volker Nebula Turbo with like the different patterns and colors that are kind of segmented across the car at different areas. Kind of cool. Nice detail and everything like that, but again, doesn't really make sense to have it just for a drift car. And then we have Clipping Boy, which is like an actual proper drift livery. This looks incredibly good. This is probably my favorite. I love the look of the aggressive red into black gradient and everything. It kind of hits with the white. I bet with the right primary color, you can make this look really good. So couple iffy choices, but also a couple really good liveries here for the Dominator FX. All right, and here we've got the Drift Walton L35. I just wanted a quick hit on this just to showcase some of the liveries because this one actually has a bunch of cool ones. We've got 11 in total for the drift version of this truck. And keep in mind again that this isn't a drift tuning upgradable car. It will have drift tuning upgrades applied on it when you buy it, which is pretty interesting. So these liveries aren't locked behind anything. They are just pretty cool, and I wanted to show them. First off, we got Mind Mocked Racing. Kind of the same graphics that we've seen before with other Mind Mocked liveries, but I do like the red accents with the Cherenkov, I believe, vodka brand. Those are pretty cool. Nice livery, nice and simple, not too crazy. Team Pole Position, kind of a similar story, but just like a different colorway with the gray and then the pink Stance Andreas. I actually really like this. I like the white stripe that runs along the side too. Again, it kind of just hinges on the primary color being right, but I do like the way this looks a lot. A lot of these like race inspired graphics kind of set this truck off to look really nice. Then we got Well Worn, which kind of fits the drift missile vibe perfectly. It's got like the faded green paint, and then we got some other faded colors all over the place, a little bit of rust, some graffiti. Nice little beater drift missile type livery for this truck. I think it fits the aesthetic pretty well. Nothing too crazy there. Nice and detailed, more so than we've seen before with some other similar styles of liveries. Got Amigas Racing, another really cool one. I really like the colorway on this one. Kind of with some of the ones we'd seen with the Vapid Dominator FX. There are just a few that really hit in terms of the colorway, and again, with the right primary, they look perfect. I really like the way this looks. It reminds me of like an old NASCAR truck or something like that. Next up, we got Aero Racing, similar colorway to what we saw over on the Vapid Dominator FX. I really like that there's more yellow on this one, and it still kind of blends in well with the like sea blue, or I forget what that shade of blue is called, but I think there is a color similar to that you can get. But yeah, really cool livery as well. It's a shame that it's locked to the drift version of this truck as opposed to like the stock Walton L35 or the original L35, but I guess we got to pay to play with this one. Next we got Indiana Champ. This is really cool. This kind of fits the drift vibe a bit better with like the flames on the sides and everything like that. I really like the look of the zero graphics. I don't know, the choke specialist on the front is funny, but I don't think it fits as well with the rest of the livery. The rest of the livery is very clean, and I do like that two-tone as well with the white. Super cool. Then we got Day Cruiser with the Benny's graphics on the side, which is kind of interesting. You would think Rockstar would not want to mention Benny's given that they haven't given us any Benny's cars for the past like 2 years, but still a cool livery at least. And it's a cool like shop truck inspired livery, which I think is cool. We got Dinka Delivery, which is another like shop truck inspired one, because obviously it doesn't make sense because this car is a Declasse vehicle with Dinka graphics, but I think I kind of know what they were going for, and I kind of like the orange graphics. Not sure about the hood though. Not really sure how I feel about that one. Next up, we got Battle Damage, which is another like dyed in the wool like drift missile type livery. So it's got like the backside skateboards graphics with a little bit of wear and tear all over the place. I like the pink accents. The pink accents really set it off really nicely, so that's pretty cool. Then we got Manor Drifter, which is a pretty similar vibe to some of the other drifting liveries we've seen, and I think it fits the drift vibe a bit better. Kind of like the presence of the pink and the purple, to be honest. I really like these loud colors, and then kind of the gradient with the gray. Not really sure if I like that enough, but overall pretty cool one is still, and I do like the cop magnets stickers just behind the driver's seat. That's kind of cool. Next up, we got the Yokohama Showstopper, which is super sweet, and given how low this truck can get, I bet you could make it like a show truck inspired build as opposed to just a drift car. So yeah, pretty versatile in that way, and I really do like the way this livery looks. Again, not good for a drift car in specific, but for like a show build or like a stance car even, because you see how low this thing gets, I think it does fit pretty well. So overall, really cool liveries available for the new Drift Walton L35 as well, so don't sleep on this one. So that is a wrap on this quick showcase of the new and exclusive liveries available for the 5 most recent drift tuning cars here in GTA Online that were just added as part of the Money Fronts DLC drip feed. Overall, I think it's a pretty good selection of liveries with lots of varying styles, and it's just nice to see that Rockstar took a little bit of extra time and care to make these liveries pretty special as opposed to some liveries we've gotten for the drift tuning cars in the past. It's very clear that all of these were differentiated, they were unique, and they were really detailed, which again is something that is not fully expected from Rockstar these days, so it's nice that they're flipping the script a little bit. As always, if you guys have anything else you'd like to say or you want to ask me anything, feel free to drop those in the comments. And if you guys happen to find this video helpful, feel free to drop a like on it and subscribe to see more content like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.